Hello there, I'm Tom Wiggins.
And I'm Emily Elias, and this is Desert Island Dips, the podcast where we pit condiment against condiment and ask, if you were trapped on a desert island, which 5 dips would you take with you?
Is that Sesame Street?
I was kind of trying to go for like the count, but then I think it just kind of came out like diseased mule.
It's a bit talent show, TV show type voiceover as well.
Which I could do.
Is this an audition?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm always on. Tom.
Always. Life is an audition.
Always be auditioning. ABA.
I don't live to that rule. So far, the island's condiment shelf, which is up by the third tree on the left.
Out of the sun.
Has space for tomato ketchup, brown sauce, English mustard, sriracha, and if you were listening to the very exciting episode last time, ajika, which
falls out of your mouth and into your heart. Not like literally falls off your tongue and into your heart. No, wait, I don't know.
That is a terrible tagline. Speaking of terrible taglines, here's one that I've come up with for this week's subject.
Oh, go on.
Which is salad cream. The tagline being the condiment that even Nazis don't like. Which Heinz have never used, weirdly. I don't quite know why.
I'm surprised that an ad man didn't go for that. I honestly feel a lot of people have been requesting this salad cream episode. I
haven't had any. No one has mentioned it to me at all.
The man that you live with, your roommate, Danny Wong, hasn't been after you since day one?
No, I just was going through the list of what we've got on the ones that we should cover off, and I just thought we might as well just get it out of the way because we've had so much fun with Ajika 2 weeks ago, and that will be enough to get people through this really sort of boring one that nobody really cares about.
My tagline for salad cream would be Nan sauce, because I associate it heavily with my Nana.
Okay, I thought you said man sauce.
No, Nan, like Nana sauce.
And I can see how he would have come to that. But,
every day for lunch, she has like a salad, which is basically like an iceberg wedge, grated carrot, beetroot.
Any egg?
No, slices of cucumber, tomato, and then
a
more
of
salad cream than is
necessary.
Oh my word!
Which is any amount. Yes. That makes a lot of sense based on the story I'm going to tell you about salad cream, because I'm guessing she is in her 80s.
Yeah, she's about there. I mean, a lady does not reveal her age.
No, of course not. But
she's of the war generation.
Yeah. And that was a very important time in the history of salad cream, hence the Nazi tagline that I've come up with for it. But we're jumping ahead of ourselves on the story here.
Hey, Tom, here's a quick question. Yeah. Where did salad cream come from?
That's a really good question, and it's almost as if that's what we're here to answer. So there's a book published various times, various editions, but the first one was 1817, called The Cook's Oracle, which is a brilliant name for essentially a cookbook, by a bloke called William Kitchener. I can't exactly work out if this recipe for something that's very similar to salad cream was in the first edition, but it was certainly in there in the first 15 years or so.
Sure.
Have you ever looked through any of, on Google has that Google Books thing where it gives you sort of scanned preview pages of books sometimes?
Yeah, I'm familiar.
Very difficult to read through those sometimes.
I mean,
and that's what
why
I've been doing.
I take my research to the next level and go to the British Library.
Yeah, I haven't got time for that. So the recipe in there had something very similar to salad cream. People that don't know salad cream, it's a bit like mayonnaise but slightly more vinegary and a bit sweeter as well.
And a bit like it has like a greener tinge in color.
Yellowy
almost.
Green, really horrible color.
Yeah, like it looks almost like a baby's sick.
Yeah, or something a bird might do on you.
Yeah.
It's also less viscous than mayonnaise, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very like
more gloopy.
Yeah.
So the recipe in that book used hard-boiled egg yolks, and salad cream normally doesn't. They're not hard-boiled. So the final product would have been different to what we know and don't love as salad cream today, but it's pretty close. A little bit later, actually, I looked up a bit more about Kitchener. I should mention it now. He is, I think, possibly going to become a small hero of mine.
Oh.
he he not only wrote cookbooks and was like considered to be a bit of a whiz in the kitchen, he made his own telescopes apparently for some reason.
How do those two worlds intersect?
I don't know. He was a musician as well, and an optician, I think, was the other thing. And I suppose opticianing, whatever the real word is,
lens to telescopes.
Yeah, pretty similar,
lenses
aren't they?
And,
yeah, exactly. But one of these books, I think the first one, had what is considered to be, if not the first, one of the first recipes for making crisps, or potato chips as you would know them in your culture.
Whoa.
I know, what a guy. I mean, where would my life be today without Kitchener?
So in a way, he's kind of like a blessing and a curse to you, because from what he gave you, delicious deep fried potatoes, he also took
Southern America there.
I don't know.
Potatoes.
I love me them French fried potatoes. For what he gave to you, he also stole your innocence with salad cream.
No, I mean, I'm quite happy to let salad cream exist in the world as long as it doesn't come anywhere near me.
Did it not violate you when you first had it?
Well, I suppose so, in a way. Yeah. He also made a sauce called Wow Wow sauce, which is the best name for a condiment.
What is Wow Wow sauce?
I think, based on your reaction, we're going to have to do an episode on it if we can.
Oh my god.
It sounds to me a bit more gravy-like than condiment-like, so it might not quite fit, but we'll research it. We'll find out.
I think that does fit, and also
and it's called Wow Wow sauce.
Box ticked.
Yeah. We're not talking about Wow Wow sauce today, but I will tell you what it is. It's port wine vinegar, same thing. Not sure. Parsley, pickled cucumbers or pickled walnuts, English mustard, mushroom ketchup in a base of beef stock, flour, and butter. Which, I mean,
I actually think that sounds really good.
Yeah. So
how did Wow Wow sauce die, but salad cream?
Salad cream lives on. The cruelties of the modern world. So that was the first thing that I can find that was kind of pretty close to modern day salad cream, but not quite because of the hard-boiled egg thing. Similarly, in 1845, a book called Modern Cooking for Private Families by Eliza Acton had a very similar one, again using hard-boiled eggs, but it was called English Sauce for Salad, Cold Meat or Cold Fish, which kind of fits in with the uses of salad cream.
Honestly, I think if you didn't call it salad cream and called it English sauce, I have the exact proper visual image of what it is.
If you knew nothing about it, that's what you'd think it looked like.
Yeah.
The first one that I could find that would probably have been a lot closer to the salad cream that we have today would have come from, so there's this book called Mrs. Beeton's Household Management, very famous.
Oh, if you've
Victorian,
watched any form of BBC food historical food porn of how we used to live and eat flour made of paste, Mrs. Beeton's makes a cameo in that.
Yeah. I think lots of sort of big well-known recipes and stuff would have found their beginnings in there somewhere. So that includes one, I think it was called salad dressing. It wasn't called salad cream, but it was, as far as I can work out, it was raw egg yolks rather than hard boiled. So there we go. That's the one that gets us closer to what we have now, and also 2 tablespoons of cream in it. So we are getting very close to the salad cream thing now. So it's obviously existed in close but not quite the same form for quite a long time. Certainly before Heinz came along. But they're the ones that sort of made it what it is today.
I would say they're like a brand standard in modern salad creaming.
Absolutely. The guy that worked for Heinz, because Heinz is an American company based in Pittsburgh, they sent a guy around 1900 called Charles Helen over to the UK to set up a Heinz subsidiary.
Yeah.
And in 1905, they buy a condiment company from Peckham called Batty & Co. Apparently, they then continue to make the Batty products for about 10 years or so afterwards. But the main thing was that they sort of used it as a way of learning about English tastes and what foods we liked and what sort of flavours we were into. The English palate, basically, yeah.
How is it different to an American palate?
Exactly. And so this is 1905. They then start developing what becomes salad cream. For some reason, because I can't see why it took them so long. Apparently it took 8 years to come up with salad cream. You'd think it would be better than that, wouldn't it, if it took 8 years to make?
Research and development. They were trying to get the recipe right. It wasn't quite there. Maybe it was like a shelf-stable issue, because if they were trying to put like real cream in with it. I'm just trying to defend why it may take 8 years of R&D to get a product to
get
market.
salad cream.
Yeah.
But by 1914, they've come up with Heinz salad cream, pretty much, I think, as we have it today. I think they maybe altered salt contents and things like that, which a lot of condiments have done over the years. But that is introduced in 1914. Heinz apparently were really big on, I don't want to talk about bloody marketing for too much because it's like dull and boring, but that was one of the reasons why Heinz has become so successful, is because they were really good at marketing. So they'd done really well with baked beans in America and over here by selling baked beans to mill workers. Mm-hmm. So basically aiming at the working class. And I think they saw this as another thing that they would sell.
Get into that sort of class structure.
They were like, who would like this stuff?
The working class.
The working class. Let's sell it to them. And it worked. 10 years later, they've had to move to a bigger premises, not just for salad cream. Obviously, they're doing baked beans and ketchup and all other stuff. So they moved to a larger premises in Harlesden, which is northwest London. The reason, what I said about your nan being into salad cream, the reason it sort of takes off from there is that during the Second World War, obviously there's rationing, lots of ingredients are harder to get hold of. Apparently tomato ketchup wasn't available for the entirety of the Second World War and then a few years afterwards.
I could completely understand that. I mean, tomatoes are a very fickle crop to be trying to manage, and you've got other problems you're worrying about than like making sure there's enough tomatoes to go around.
Yeah. So while tomato ketchup was unavailable, the ingredients to make salad cream are obviously in ready supply. So salad cream really takes off during the Second World War because you've got all this boring, sort of beige food
blandness.
Yeah, and you want something to kind of spice it up. And there is that, there's a proper vinegary tang to salad cream, isn't there?
Yeah.
And if you're really, really desperate and you might get bombed by a Nazi any minute, you would probably eat salad cream, wouldn't you?
I feel like I understand my Nanna a lot more.
So, desperate times, desperate measures, people go, all right then, I'll have some salad cream with my lunch. So I feel like it's that's sort of some sort of condiment Stockholm syndrome, because it carried on afterwards, even when tomato ketchup comes back. That kickstarts this popularity, and away we go. When they could have just gone, well, we're not at war anymore. Let's get the ketchup.
Find better things.
Let's get the ketchup back, but they didn't. Apparently, it goes on from there. But the Nazis bombed the factory twice.
Respect to the Nazis on that one. I can't believe I'm saying that. That's a horrible thing to say.
The Nazis bombed that Harlesden factory twice, so they hate salad cream as much as, possibly even more. I haven't bombed, just to be clear. I have not bombed a salad cream factory. They bombed it twice. So I just feel like if Nazis hate your condiment, then you should probably take the hint. Or...
Well, then you're letting the Nazis win by not rebuilding.
Or are you setting yourself up in opposition to Nazi ideology and going, well, if you don't like that, then it must be good?
I feel like we're walking down some really tricky territory that neither of us are historically prepared to tackle properly.
Or qualified to talk about. Yeah, fair enough. So it became a kind of important ingredient in some really horrible sounding foods. Yeah. I think during the Second World War, if not certainly afterwards. One of which was called mock crab.
Nope. What is mock crab?
It sounds so awful. So salad cream is a really key ingredient in this, but it's salad cream, margarine, vinegar, and cheese, and that is apparently supposed to taste like crab. I mean, I assume that's during war, where you're sort of like, well, what's the best thing I can get that is... I use the word best very loosely. What's the... How do I get something...
What's accessible to me?
What have I got here? And can I... If I really use... I think the missing ingredient there is imagination.
Yeah, definitely.
To taste like crab, and that's what they've come up with, and that was a big use for...
Can I just say this? Yesterday, me and John Lyons were at a Asian restaurant, and this woman next to us is with her boyfriend. You could tell that she was a very fussy eater, and she turns to him and says, "What's tofu? Is it like chicken?"
What? I mean...
And we're like, no, and we didn't say anything. And he was like,
What, you weren't in the conversation,
No.
were you? That's why you didn't say anything.
and then he said, no, it's closer to pork. And I was like, what? What planet am I on?
I mean, but they're aware that it's not meat.
They were no. They
Right,
were, they
okay.
were
They
like
think it was from the tofu animal,
yes.
like in that Netflix film.
Anyway, sorry.
Yeah.
It's such like a. But we were just like sat there biting our tongues, like it's soybeans.
Did you think mock crab was perhaps
Yeah.
an animal?
It's like finding out mock crab is actually cheese
no, they're
in a
real.
weird goo.
No. Anyway, so that's the Second World War basically kickstarts the success of salad cream. So on the one hand, yes, it did stamp out the progress of the Nazis, but on the other hand, salad cream. Cross and Blackwell launched. So Branston that we talked about a few weeks ago. That was the Cross and Blackwell brand as well. They launched one in the 50s, but essentially Heinz have had the vice-like grip on the salad cream business for pretty much the whole time.
Now,
they are the big players.
now, can I ask a question about modern salad creaming? Did they not change the recipe fairly recently and create an uproar?
In what way?
They changed the recipe of the condiment so it tasted different. People were not happy, hence the uproar.
What do you mean by change the recipe, though? All I know about is the less salt and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Well, I think the bigger issues are Heinz's sort of. I'm not totally convinced by them, but they feel to me like publicity stunts where they say, "Oh, no one likes salad cream anymore. We're going to stop making it," and it causes this big uproar of people going, "Oh, you can't stop making it.
Take away our salad cream. We need it."
Yeah, which happened in 1999 when they said they were going to discontinue it. And I mean, this is before, obviously, Twitter and change.org. So they relied on, weirdly, a Labour MP called Roy Hattersley, who was behind, apparently him and I think the Daily Mail, behind this campaign to make sure that Heinz salad cream did not go away.
Can you imagine, like, hey, how did you became a member of parliament? What was your contribution to society?
It'd be good to have on your Wikipedia page, though, wouldn't it?
I mean, it was our Wikipedia pages, sure, because we're clearly deranged and obsessed with sauces.
If we ever get a Wikipedia page, which we is in our reach because you can make your own, we should put on there that we helped to spread Ajika throughout the Western world.
That could be our claim to fame.
Even though we haven't done it yet, but if we write it, it might be self-fulfilling prophecy.
But can we back up? So you're saying...
I've got more to this, though.
Yeah, because I have something else. Okay.
Well, the reason I think it was part of a publicity stunt is because, have you seen these pictures from when they sort of relaunched salad cream in year 2000, I think it was?
Yeah.
Where they hired Denise Van Outen and Graham Norton, who you will know who Graham Norton is because of your Eurovision obsession, but do you know who Denise Van Outen is?
Is she related to the Van Houtens from The Simpsons?
No.
Milhouse Van Houten?
No, Outen, not Houghton.
Oh, then I don't know her.
She was a breakfast TV presenter in the 90s, sort of the loaded sort of era, lad mag generation.
Okay.
And yeah, they hired those two in the year 2000 as the sort of relaunch of salad cream.
Of salad cream.
Which to me makes me think, well, if you hang on, a couple of months ago you were saying you're going to discontinue it, and now you're doing a big relaunch with Denise Van Outen and Graham Norton. The big thing though is the pictures that they used to.
Nope. That's not okay.
to publicise this relaunch.
How would you describe those pictures, Tom?
This one I'm definitely not describing.
I would say wildly inappropriate.
Yeah, the sort of thing that if you maybe search for it on a porn site, you might find something similar.
I feel like it falls underneath a special category on Pornhub.
Yep, involving pouring the salad cream on
different
part of Denise's anatomy.
And
one of the other pictures is her holding a very German-looking sausage with salad cream poured all over the end of it and like feeding it to him. And I mean,
that's not
they find
any
this
way that I would want to eat a sausage.
They both find this very, very funny.
Of course.
But these resurfaced recently because there was another, what I think is possibly a publicity stunt around salad cream. Anyway, before we get onto that, there has been a change to the ingredients of salad cream, but not the one you're thinking of.
Oh. Oh.
They launched a different variation. I think, from what I can see, the only variation that isn't just sort of calorie-based, where it's actually flavour-based. So there was a senior brand manager called Lindsay Hurst, and just one night, this is the story she tells, and I'm not sure I believe it, but this is the story she tells. One night she was making herself a sandwich. She's put some salad cream on it, and then she thought, I'm gonna pep this up a little bit. So she put some lemon and black pepper on it. Put the lid on her sandwich. Is that what you call it? Lid?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, bread lid.
McDonald's calls it a lid.
Do they?
Yeah, the top of the bun is the lid.
Is the lid? Okay. Well, I mean, that makes sense to me. And she tried it, and she was like, "Oh, hang on, this is delicious." And she took it. I don't think she took that exact sandwich, but she took it into the office the next day, recreated it for her colleagues, and gave it to them. And they were all like, "Do you know what, Lindsay? I think you might be onto something here." And they launched, I think it was a year later, the lemon and black pepper version of salad cream, which is discontinued, from what I can work out anyway.
I mean,
can't see it anywhere.
Lindsay sounds like a very powerful woman with a misguided
yes.
power.
Misguided power.
The worst superhero power in the world.
Yeah.
I can make a somewhat disgusting sauce even less palatable.
They do a really good job of that, I think, because we were talking about their marketing power in the early days, their strange choice not to use my tagline during wartime, and then it's probably even stranger choice of publishing those pictures, which we should probably put on the internet when we release this episode. People might remember there was an ad campaign on TV where they had for salad cream, which was the line was "Any food tastes supreme with Heinz salad cream." Now, the weird thing for me about this campaign was that it was sort of matched up with pictures of, for example, a man finding a old bit of pizza in some bed sheets.
Nope. Not even close to okay.
Like picking it up, taking it downstairs.
No.
There was quite a good joke in the advert, actually, where he goes to put it in the bin, but he's not going to put it in the bin. I think he takes like an anchovy or a mushroom or something off the pizza, throws that in the bin, then covers it in salad cream and then eats it. The idea, obviously, that anything is palatable as long as you put salad cream in it. There was another one of a trampy guy going into a shop and buying a bottle of salad cream wrapped up in a brown paper bag so it looked like booze, but then appearing to go and rifle through the bins and eat food from the bins with salad cream on it.
Who's making this ad campaign?
It was like, what? Sorry, what? Who? So you're suggesting that salad cream is good for people that rifle through bins to eat and get old pizza that's been in someone's bed? Like, it just doesn't seem very... things are supposed to be aspirational normally in advertising, and I think Heinz missed that memo when they made this campaign. Because, I mean, that is weird, isn't it? As I said, there was another one recently. So earlier this year, where Heinz announced that they were going to probably change the name.
I've seen pictures of people protesting this.
Yeah. So apparently, only 14% of people who buy salad cream use it on salad. Okay. Which is probably the older generation that are still using it based on that existing idea behind it. Sandwiches and stuff like that apparently is the main use for salad cream these days. That, if it happens, is due to kick in September. So in September we'll have to change the name of this. We'll have to re-record this, or like overdub. We'll cut this bit out. We'll overdub every mention of cream when I'll just go
salad.
No, sorry, every mention of salad, and I'll just if I just say it now, if I just say sandwich, you can just take that and put it over all of the mentions of salad and we'll be golden.
I'm sorry, but I don't understand why this is happening. Like, is this another Heinz publicity stunt where they're trying to
I feel like that maybe, yeah.
Oh, we were nearly over the cliff on that one. Yeah. We pulled it back from the edge and it's still called salad cream.
I mean, obviously it was quite it made the news, didn't it? Quite significantly when it was announced.
I was doing some pre-research for your episode, not to step on your toes, but just make sure that it was covered off. And I saw these pictures of people with protest signs, placards being like, "No sandwich cream, salad cream forever." Yeah. Well, I had no idea where they're marching to. It just looked very
probably the old factory in Halston.
Well, I was not impressed with it because it didn't feel like a real thing. It didn't feel like there's an actual outrage brewing. Maybe I should call my Nanna, though. I mean, I'm sure she'll have some things to say about it, and then she'll tell me why voting leave was a smart decision for her.
Well, speaking of that, as a result of this, the Daily Mail went out and did, because the idea is that millennials don't like salad cream because it's,
Because millennials ruin everything?
Millennials don't like anything, and or they only like new stuff.
Oh, give us your avocado toast, please.
Well, exactly. They took avocado toast and they put salad cream on it, and they fed it to a load of millennials, and they put a video up on YouTube. And more of them seemed to like it than didn't like it, so I think it sort of backfired on them. But that was a fairly boring video. What I found off the back of that on YouTube was something called the Salad Cream Challenge.
Oh, no.
Which came out about 5-6 years ago. Very few people seem to have taken part in it, as you can imagine, because most of things like that, the cinnamon challenge is very entertaining because people often cough and then like clouds of browny orange smoke go everywhere as they cough the cinnamon.
The ALS challenge, barrel of laughs, dump some ice on your head.
Yeah, I mean that didn't involve eating anything.
No.
But the salad cream challenge was basically just people trying to eat a big mouthful of salad cream, and no one seems to be able to do it. Of all the videos I saw, and I say all, I watched 3. One of the people was actually like a little bit sick down herself. The other one was lots of girls in a school playground in headscarves, trying to feeding it to each other and then just spitting it all over the floor, to the tune of "We Found Love" by Rihanna.
Oh no,
it's a good song that.
I'm visually imagining the video in my brain box thing, and like I just feel there's a lot of sadness with this episode. That like this is truly showing the downfall of humanity, and
it feels quite Brexit, this episode.
Oh yes.
On the Salad Cream website, because obviously you've got to go, or on the Heinz website, you've got to go and see what they've got to say about themselves. Heinz.co.uk. The salad cream area. For some reason, they've put up a load of radio adverts that you can listen to.
Like old time radio adverts?
No,
or like
they seem to be fairly current. I don't really know why they've done this, but I sort of like them until, because they're so bad. They're paired with graphics that have been done in a sort of old comic book style. So it says, "The Hamazing Krusty Roll. Bring on the..." What does that say?
Really effective advertising if you can't even read it.
It looks like it says slag.
Yeah, this is like, yeah.
And then, damn, that's good. And
wordplay.
Dreadful stuff like that.
Wordplay.
But you can listen to them if you want.
Cheshire, Lancashire, Red Leicester.
Just listing cheeses.
You're cheesed off by boring baguettes. Then why not give your lunch some punch with a squeeze of brie-licious Heinz salad cream?
It's just cheese puns, the lowest form of wit.
Says Tom Wiggins.
Come on, cheese jokes are the worst. So there's the. I thought that was good enough to end on, but I was going to say the from what I can see, the US equivalent of salad cream, even though it was made by an American company, is something called Miracle Whip.
No.
That's what, if you search it and people are asking what's the US equivalent, and loads of people are going, oh, it's Miracle Whip.
No. Miracle Whip's like a mayonnaise.
Yeah. Well, salad cream is like a mayonnaise.
No, but like not even close.
Is it just the normal mayonnaise?
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people said it was disgusting. Maybe that's where the similarity is. No?
I don't think so. I think that one's wrong.
Yeah. Well, it's, you don't trust everything.
I mean, I'm not really like a
internet.
giant like Miracle Whip eater, but maybe.
What a weird name for a mayonnaise.
Miracle Whip?
Miracle Whip.
I thought it was like a sort of I could be completely wrong on this, but like a low calorie sort of mayonnaise to help.
Is that why it's a miracle?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can enjoy all the flavor of mayonnaise without any sort of consequence of getting a big waistline. For the housewives worried about their...
I don't want it.
Their waistlines. Yeah, nobody wants it.
It's not Hellman's, is it?
No.
We're not going to do an episode on Miracle Whip.
No.
So, I mean, I barely feel like it's even worth asking the question, but is salad cream going to go on the island?
No. Like a definitive no.
You could use it as a weapon maybe against attack. No?
No.
Put it in guns. I'm just trying to make a case for it that, the bare minimum I feel...
You have been consistently negative throughout this entire, X amount of minutes of recording.
I'm just sort of being a devil's advocate sort of position here.
Listen, I understand that salad cream is very important to a certain segment of the population. And for them, they are passionate, diehard salad creamers.
That's what I'm going to call them from now on.
Your
Salad creamers.
Your roommate, Danny Wong, for one, has been very adamant about the placement of salad cream on the island.
But it's because he knows he's wrong, isn't it?
But the thing is, if it's important to you, it's on your own island. This is humanity's.
This is getting really deep.
This
If it's important to you, put it on your own island.
This is humanity's island, and we don't need to be saving the riffraff of salad cream.
Well, that's quite a strong ending, isn't it?
Boom.
If
It
you've
is
got
1,000,000 degrees in here. I have no time. I have no patience for none of these shenanigans.
If you have a strong defense of salad cream that you would like to put to us,
Write us a letter.
yeah, we're into letters now, apparently. You can contact us on Twitter at Desert Island Dip, no S.
Single dip.
On Facebook, Desert Island Dips.
All the dips.
There is an
plural.
S there. Desert Island Dips at gmail.com. That's an email address.
I check the account.
Good.
Occasionally.
And if you can find the address, you can write to us. If you can find us in the street, you can just tell us.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't want to be stalked.
I'll
I
take-
don't think that's it's not.
I'll
like
take some
to happen,
text
is it?
messages.
Text.
I feel.
Tweet. Oh, we done tweets.
Yeah. What else? Homing pigeon. If you can figure that out, like more power to you.
Write it in salad cream in the sky.
Oh.
I don't know how you do that, but
If you could do some form of like skywriting protest, I will let salad cream on the island.
with salad cream.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's like that. That is a step too far. It clearly is very important to you, and you
quite
have a lot of
salad-
disposable income. I'll let it go on.
Maybe if you do it high enough in the atmosphere, it would freeze,
And then what? Have
and
like
it'd be like
salad
a
cream,
salad cream cloud.
or like what if like a salad cream snow?
Oh no, thanks.
I cannot think of anything more disgusting to fall from the sky.
I can,
And-
but let's not
and-
get into that. You mentioned it earlier. Let's not get into it. Right. Thanks very much for listening.
We appreciate you as a listener.
Come, all of them, not just this single. You sounds like you've like singled one out there.
No, because it's like it's a solitary activity to listen to a podcast. You're not listening.
I don't think people are fooled. I think they know they're not the only ones.
Wait, what?
Thanks very much for listening. Come back in 2 weeks' time. It will
more-
go really quick.
More adventures in sauceries and dips.
Thanks for listening. Goodbye.
Bye.